Welcome back to Topic 6. In this presentation, I'll provide a brief overview of the Australian education system. Picking up where we left off in the last presentation, we'll look at the contemporary context of Australian education. Specifically, we'll look at the three sectors that form this system, appearing in chronological order: the pre-compulsory sector, followed by the compulsory sector, and then the higher education sector. As we discovered in the previous topic, Australia has two tiers of governance. In the pre-compulsory sector, it looks like this, quite messy. Each state and territory has its own Department of Education, and these include integrated or designated portfolios for early childhood education and care. The federal government, situated in the centre of this image, also includes early childhood education and care in its structure. In addition to the state and federal departments, the Australian Children's Education and Care Quality Authority, ACEQA, is a federal government authority that supports the provision of early childhood education and care across all states and territories. This work is undertaken through the implementation of the National Quality Framework. The National Quality Framework provides a national approach to regulation, assessment and quality improvement for early childhood education and care and outside hours, school hours care services across Australia. The framework sets out the standards, as I said, and the regulations that providers must comply with to be a registered service, and these include staffing qualifications and the assessment ratings of services. ACEQA also regulates the approval frameworks used to guide learning and development in the sector. These are the Being, Belonging and Becoming, the Early Years Learning Framework for and the My Time, Our Place framework for the school-aged care. In Victoria, the Victorian Early Years Learning and Development Framework is also approved. As per the pre-compulsory school sector, the school sector is governed by state and federal education departments. Quality control is monitored at the state level by a variety of government departments. These authorities are responsible for the implementation of state-based policies, including curriculum, assessment and reporting, teacher education, school registration, just to name a few. In New South Wales, it's a one-stop shop. In Queensland, in New South Wales, it's a one-stop shop. In Queensland, there's two arms, the Queensland Curriculum Authority and the Queensland College of Teachers. And in Victoria, there's also the Victorian Curriculum and Assessment Authority and the Victorian Institute of Teachers. I think we've skipped a few slides there. There they are. Okay. ACARA is the national body responsible for the development and implementation of the Australian curriculum, the National Assessment Program, NAPLAN, and the MySchool website. But again, we see these services duplicated across the states at state level. New South Wales has its own New South Wales syllabus documents based on the Australian curriculum, for instance. The higher education sector, also referred to as the tertiary sector, is comprised of universities, TAFEs, RTOs, registered training organisations, and as you will have noticed on the opening slide, these sectors can overlap. So, for instance, VET, Vocational Education and Training, is a good example here, as students can commence their TAFE courses while still attending high schools. The National Centre for Vocational Education Research is the national professional body responsible for collecting, managing and analysing research and statistics about the VET sector. Quality control in this sector is through the Australian Quality Framework. The management of the AQF is delivered through the Australian Government Department, the Federal Government Department of Education and Training, in consultation with the states and territories. The Department of Education and Training monitors the AQF supports its users and promotes the AQF and its role in Australia's education system. You might notice the different levels there. You're currently working at level 7 at a bachelor degree. It's possible that the last level that you were working on was 6 or 5 or even 4, so there's perhaps an understanding of the different levels or demands, if you like. So to conclude, even in this brief overview, you get a sense of the complex machinations of Australia's education systems. It's a misnomer to suggest that there's a unified or homogeneous system that exists. In the next presentation, we'll discuss some of the aspirations and agendas associated with the formation of this complex network of governance and regulation.